in the right place. We're gonna get started. So my name is Shelly Maxwell, and I'm a therapist with the Ascension, Wisconsin EAP program. And I'm also a registered yoga teacher, and I teach here in Oshkosh. And we've been doing these R&R sessions since October of 2021. And it's been a joy to see familiar faces signing in. So welcome to those of you who've participated in the past, and welcome to those of you who are new. We hope you'll continue to join us. The Zoom link is exactly the same each month, so you can always do a recurring appointment for the first Wednesday, 12 to 12:30. And I'm usually joined, like today, by my colleague Jen, and we've got about 13 to 14 counselors in our EAP program, spread from Wausau all the way down to Racine. And we do provide in-person and virtual appointments. So Jen is my colleague up in our Menasha office, and she's my co-pilot. She helps with chat. If you're having any issues, you can chat and she'll be happy to assist you, and also with recording our sessions. There's a lot of folks, of course, who have schedule conflicts with this time, and so we just make these available on our YouTube channel. And so this will probably be loaded by the end of the week, by the latest early next week. If you want to check it out or let colleagues know, you can also find all of the other R&R sessions on the playlist. So before we get started, I'm just going to ask everyone to make sure they're muted and that their video is off, so that it is not distracting to the other participants. And we're going to, and before we get started, I just want to explain a bit about EAP. This is one of the ways you're able to interact with us, is our presentations. So we have lunch and learns each month, and the R&R sessions are part of that lunch and learn series. And when it comes to counseling, we provide, our free counseling that is completely confidential. So EAP is just set up differently financially. That's the only thing that's different about us with other counselors. We don't go through insurance. We don't go through private pay. It is solely paid for by your employer, and they have no clue that you're using it. We just give them a quarterly report of numbers, number of employees using it, the number of spouses or domestic partners, and the number of dependents, because it is for you and any direct family member under your roof, including college students away at college. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. The format that I found works really well with these is we start out with some guided imagery, and then we move into some grounding and deep breathing work, and then we go into the chair yoga or chair stretches, and finish with usually a poem or some sort of reflection. So for this session, I actually was starting to get anxious, because usually by the weekend before our R&R sessions, I have a decent idea of what we like the theme. It just comes to me, and my mind was blank. Up until yesterday, even, I just could not find anything to land on. So I decided to start researching poems, and a lot of my clients have been bringing in feelings of isolation and the desire to feel more connected to community, more to get out there and put themselves out there. So I started researching, just Googled poems about community. And it brought me to a poem that really more talked about nature, and I'll share with you at the end. But, and then the poem, it's beautiful, and the signature wasn't clear, and I wanted to be able to give credit to the poet. So I clicked on the link, and it brought me to this amazing program that's called the Good Listening Project. And I'll share the link with you towards the end of our session, but I don't know if any of you have heard it, but it is poets who go into the healthcare setting, like hospitals, and they are there to listen. The healthcare professional can attend a listening session where they sit across from the poet. And then in the end, the poet reflects back to them a poem relating to what the person was talking about. And they've developed this as a, under the premise that feeling heard heals our burnout. And so just the act of feeling heard, feeling understood, what that does to our compassion fatigue, how that soothes us, it fills our tank again. So I was thinking about ears, and this is where this picture, I was hoping to go to with our guided imagery. I mean, just these, the cheeks really draw me into where I just want to gobble them up, but our precious ears. And if you just take a look at this little one's, the gentle shape, and think about the gentle shape of your ears. And maybe bring into mind times in your life, whether it's today, the week, the month, just in the past, where you have felt heard, that you felt seen, maybe understood, validated. That's certainly a goal of me and my coworkers, right? Where when somebody is meeting with us, that is number one priority, that they feel seen, heard, validated. We create emotional safety there. We create comfort and ease. And maybe think about the people in your life who are the good listeners. And bringing that sensation, that sense of being heard, bring that into your heart space. Let it warm that area around the heart. And as you let both feet come to the floor, if your legs are crossed, let the feet sink into the floor. Let the weight of the body sink into your chair. And continue to feel that warmth of connection that you've experienced in different ways into your heart. And if you are feeling safe and your eyes aren't closed already, go ahead and close them and go inward a little bit more. Maybe even follow your breath as it comes in through the nose and travels down the throat, down past the heart center, into the lungs. You might even notice the breath, even though it stays in the lungs, you might notice the energy of your breath traveling down the spine into the hips, into the lower back. Letting that breath expand the belly as you pooch it out. And on the exhale, use gentle effort to hug that navel center in, exhaling out through the nostrils. And as we engage our diaphragmatic breath, continuing to stay with that grounding. So when we ground, it's a way of namely distracting our amygdala that wants to say threat, this is bad, and bring it to the elements of our environment that are safe and okay, and where they give us a sense of well-being even. So your feet being on the floor, having the support of your chair. The amygdala can get triggered by our senses, in our environment or in our memories, but we can also ground through our sensory experience of our memories. So thinking about recent memories of hearing the birds sing. Maybe recent memories of hearing water gurgle and bubble in a stream or brook, or maybe the waves crashing of the ocean. Maybe the sensory experience of holding space or the silence between you and somebody that you love dearly, where you feel seen and heard, but you don't even need to talk. You don't even have to explain yourself. They just get it. So staying here, continuing to breathe and feel grounded through these memories, the sensory experiences within your memories of these beautiful moments of connection with your environment and with the community around you. Notice the sensations in your soul, in your body, that these memories stir up within you. And maybe meet those sensations with gratitude. Meeting your breath with gratitude. We often underestimate the power of listening to our environment, listening to our loved ones. A lot of times we feel like we haven't done enough if we don't have the right thing to say. But really trusting that it's not so much in saying, it's in listening. If anything, saying is letting the person know that you're there for them, that you validate what they're saying, you validate their experience, even if you don't fully understand it or agree. You can get to that later, but first meeting them with that safety of hearing them, knowing how meaningful it is to you when you experience it. So taking 2 more breaths here. Maybe deepen the breath a little bit further, letting it come way down into the belly or even down into the pelvic bowl, feeling the expansion. And then as you exhale, you can even do a louder exhale through the nostrils or the mouth. And you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and maybe rub your hands together. You can bring your palms over your face. If your eyes are closed, you can gently open your eyes, letting the fingers spread so that the light can filter in and let the eyes adjust. Then we'll go ahead and start with being more active. And so I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you all can see me better. And I'm going to scoot back. So to start, let's clasp our hands. You can either do the awkward way or the familiar way and press your palms forward. So the shoulders are going to come forward like you're squeezing them together and opening up the space between the shoulder blades. Now, something that's really core, important when we're doing these is that you let the sits bones ground into your chair. You hug the navel center in and lift through the crown of the head. So taking a breath and exhaling out. Inhaling up, pressing those palms up towards the sky. And then we're going to twist, and we're going to alternate doing this 3 times. So take a deep breath in, pressing the palms up, reach through those sits bones, lengthen through the spine, and on your exhale, twist to the right. You're not going to go very far because this is the first one. So root through those sits bones. Breathe up, bring the breath up to the palms of your hands. And on your exhale, come back to center. Inhale, center. And exhale to the left. Root through that right sits bones, especially. Inhale. And exhale back to center. Inhale, center. And exhale again to the right. Maybe this time a little bit further, but not too much. Think of it like a medium twist. Inhale here. Exhale back to center. Take another breath in at center. And exhale left. Medium twist. Notice the opening through the spine and the side bodies. Inhale. Exhale to center. One more time. Your arms are probably starting to get a little tired. That's all right. Inhale. And exhale fully to the right. See if you can come to your edge without feeling sharp pain. Sharp pain lets you know you've gone too far. Inhale. Hug that navel center in. And exhale, come to center. So when I say exhale or inhale, but I'm saying hug the navel center, and it's more like really engaging those lower abdominals. Inhale. Exhale all the way to the left. See how far you can get. Inhale. Feel those ribs, and then exhale back to center. Good. Now let's bend over to the right. The bicep stays by the left ear. Lengthen through the spine. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. Take a breath. Back to center. And then let's bring the arms down, and you can rotate the wrists, reverse direction, bring your shoulders in. Okay. So I'm going to come a little closer. I'm going to take my glasses off because we're going to do a bit of massage here. So we're going to start with taking our fingertips and just rub into the neck muscles, the back of the neck, the base of the skull. Notice where you feel like you need to rub, if it's might be even around the collarbones, and then gradually move where you're moving maybe circular motions, massaging the jaw, coming up towards the ears. And then let's take some time to like show appreciation to our ears. So you might massage the edges of the ears, bringing the fingers over the top of the ears, maybe on the inside even. And then you can, when you're done with your ears, move up the temples, the forehead, around the cheekbones. So listen to yourself, listen to your body. When it says, "Ooh, I need some more of that," don't move just yet. Listen to that. You might move into your scalp. Okay, so a big part of when we're doing the chair yoga or stretches is learning to listen to our body and letting it tell us where we're tight, right? It's not a failure when we're not able to fully do the pose or the stretch. It's just listening to the body as a neutral observer, like, oh yeah, I need to tend to that spot a little bit more. Okay, so let's come down and start to massage the arms, squeezing the biceps, coming down through the forearms, maybe massaging the hands or rubbing them together. And then bring the palms down to the legs and start to massage your thighs, squeezing those quads. You might come underneath and get those hamstrings, rub the knees. Thank the knees. And then gradually start to hinge forward so that you can start massaging your calf muscles and the shins, right? So try to bring the crown of your head forward as you hinge, and maybe if you're able to get down to those ankles, down to the tops of the feet or the arches of the feet. And then with this forward fold, just stay here. You can release the effort of the massage, let the torso fold over the thighs, release the neck, release the head. Take a moment here. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold forward. So as and your knees can be spread wide. You don't have to have the knees together. And notice how the right shoulder is maybe near the right knee. I want you to roll onto that right side. And then come center and roll to the left thigh so that the shoulder and the knee are coming towards each other. Let's do that a couple of times, just rolling back and forth in whatever way is available to you. And then when you've done an equal number on each side, bring the right hand between the feet, either between the feet or that right arm presses to the inside of the right leg. And we're going to twist up. Okay. So as you twist up, you might reach your left hand up towards the sky. You might look up towards the ceiling. If that's too much for the shoulder, bring the hand down to the shoulder. You can stay here for a few more breaths, or you can make this a little bit more dynamic. And on your exhale, bring the elbow down and inhale up. So again, you're lengthening forward. You're not trying to scrunch. You're bringing that crown of the head forward so you can really get a nice opening through the ribs and the side body. Another breath. And then exhale that left arm all the way down. Bring it down between the feet or press it to the inside of that left leg and sweep the right arm up. Hug the navel center in, crown of the head forward. Fingertips reach towards the sky or rest on the shoulder. Listen to the body. Breathe. And if you'd like, you can bring in that movement with the breath, exhaling, bringing that elbow down and up with the inhale. 2 more times. Good. And then come back down onto the thighs and rub the lower back. Massage the hips. Then with the hands on the lower back, bring the elbows up as if they can come towards each other and give a nice squeeze between the shoulder blades. You might even clasp the hands and raise the elbows and bring that squeeze a little bit higher. You could even straighten the arms if you want. Good. Now if your hands can clasp or hold the arms of your chair or the back of the chair, sit up and open through the collarbones, through that heart space. Lovely. And then come back. You might need to scoot back in your chair. Let's lift both legs and lower the toes to the floor. Inhale, lift them up, maybe flex the feet and bring the heels to the floor. Just alternate here, waking up the lower legs. You can go as fast or slow as you want. Both feet come to the floor. Bring the right ankle over the left leg. So it might be at the shin. It might be below the knee. See if you can bring it up above the knee. So I'm going to move my arms back so I have a little bit more mobility here. So the left leg can be either bent or extended. Listen to your body. But if you want a deeper fold coming into a seated pigeon here, you can bring that left leg to a 90 degrees. So bending the knee. If you'd like to go deeper here, you can again hinge at the hips, hug that navel center in, and bring the crown of the head forward. The nose comes forward as you bend. And again, just like when we were folding and we kind of rolled, you can experiment with rolling that right shoulder towards the right knee if that's available, and then the left shoulder to the left knee or right ankle. So again, meeting yourself as a neutral observer, just taking note. I fell on the ice about a month ago, so my left leg has been very interesting as it's been healing. Okay, so let's release that right leg, the right foot back down to the floor. You can extend that right leg as you cross the left ankle over it. And then find your position. Now, again, it might be very different from the other side. You might not have as much access, or you might have more. And again, hinging forward. If you'd like to go, or if you're able to go deeper, wherever you're at, bring breath to wherever the sensation is. Let that sensation soften. And then when you're ready, release that left foot towards the floor. Bring the chin down towards the sternum. Roll the right ear over to the right shoulder. Down to center and over to the left. Do that a couple of times. If you want to go the full rotation, instead of pinching the cervical spine, just really try to work on bringing that chin up and over versus back. There you go. Wonderful. Okay. So when you're ready, you can start to, again, wiggle the fingers and the toes. Coming back into the room, if you want to bring your hands over your face as you open the eyes. You can also keep your eyes closed here if you'd like to, with the as I read you the poem. So, oh goodness, I wrote her name in the author's name of this poem in my notes, which I don't have access to right now. So I will pull that up in a minute. But this is at the bottom here, there's the link to the Good Listening Project, where there's a video of the co-founder explaining what they're hoping to do with this project and how it works. But for now, I'll read to you this poem, Seasonal. Look how quickly the snow melts into spring. Blossoming things will cast long shadows over the land, and summer is coming again. The seasons teach us how to feel at ease with letting things go, just as soon as we get used to the snow. So I thought about how we get used to the snow and then it leaves us, but we keep taking 2 steps forward with spring, maybe another step back, but it's coming and we're starting to wake up from that hibernation and thinking about ways that we can put ourselves out into the world and connect with nature, connect with ourselves, connect with each other, and how important listening, what the role listening plays in all of that. So I'm grateful for you all joining us. And the key word for today was listen. So for those of you collecting who are able to get wellness points for participating, and you can contact us through our email, you can contact us through our phone number, and you can also find a lot of our presentations and materials from the last 2-3 years on our YouTube channel. It is a wonderful resource. And if you're not finding what you want, give us a call, email us, and we will be happy to help you. So I hope that you all enjoyed today's session. I'll leave this poem up so that you all have access to that link, www.goodlistening.org. And I hope you'll be able to join us next year or next month for April, if you can believe it. So I wish you all well, and I hope March goes well for you. Thanks for joining us.